You don't think that's a bit cold?
I think truth has no temperature.
Welcome to Manosphere Highlights Daily. Shout out to Patreon gang member Mr. Grant for this video. This is his message. Hi MHD, big fan of your content. Love your stuff. I found a scene from a movie that is pure gold and wanted to share it with you. It's from the 2013 movie The Counselor, starring Javier Bardem and Michael Fassbender, among other stars. In this scene, two guys are talking about their women, and Bardem's character drops some great truths about women. It's also a great movie that I'd never heard of until now. The scene is at 1517. Check it out. Mr. Grant, thank you for your video topic request. Salute! As you know, we're not here to give you a conventional movie review of The Counselor. Instead, we'll be taking an in-depth look at specific scenes that delve into the complex dynamics between men and women from a red pill perspective. Before I share my thoughts on some of the movie scenes, let me give you a quick overview.
I think in the end, it was jealousy that undid us.
Jealousy?
Yeah, she was getting more pussy than I was. Is that true?
A high-level lawyer known only as the Counselor gets in deep over his head when he enters the violent and seedy world of drug trafficking and cartels. The Counselor isn't your typical film, it's a thought-provoking experience. The narrative breaks away from the traditional three-act structure, offering a dark and cautionary perspective. The movie blends philosophical dialogues and monologues into its brutal storyline, and this is where my critique and bias come into play. Some might find these dialogues irritating, but personally I appreciate them as an art form. Instead of a straightforward approach, the film engages in a dance of words, leaving room for debate, analysis, and self-discovery. The execution of the philosophical dialogue feels scripted, unrealistic, and forced at times. Interestingly, I discovered that Cormac McCarthy, rest in peace, renowned for his novels like No Country for Old Men and The Road, ventured into screenwriting to create the original screenplay for The Counselor. So at times, it feels designed to be read rather than acted out. The characters, too, seem hollow, lacking the depth needed for genuine connection. Cameron Diaz's character, Malkina, stands out as the most intriguing, but the early revelation of her agenda diminishes the impact of her character and the overall storyline. The narrative also leaves some plot holes, challenging traditional expectations of a movie's plot and ending. If you are looking for a film that triggers introspection and contemplation, The Counselor is the one. Now let's dive into the cautionary tale. It unfolds about men navigating the complex terrain of relationships with the opposite sex. Disclaimer: this video contains copyrighted footage, so we will be freezing it frequently to prevent copyright infringement. A special salute to our Patreon supporters. The original video will be available on Patreon. If you enjoy our content and want the full experience, consider supporting us on Patreon. Spoiler alert! This video contains spoilers, so you've been warned. Now it's time for us to get into this and do what we gotta do. Because we men, ain't we? We men, ain't we?
How's Laura?
Incredible.
That sounds about right. Nice lady, nice lady. I assume she's not privy to your newest business venture.
She's not? And your lady?
Yeah.
Yeah, what?
I don't know what she knows. I don't want to know.
You don't trust her?
Jesus, Counselor, she's a woman. Yeah, well, I don't mean to sound that cold. I just mean that where men are concerned, they've got their own agenda. I always like smart women, but it's been an expensive hobby, you know?
Yeah.
This is why fathers and father figures are essential mentors. not only in matters concerning women, but in life in general. The key takeaways from this part of the scene revolve around trust. Trust takes years to build, seconds to break, and forever to repair. So when the counselor asked, "You don't trust her?" and Reiner replied with, "She's a woman," it reflects the reputation that modern women encounter in romantic relationships and life in general today. Human provides a great explanation of why this perception persists.
That you cannot trust that which you compete with. If I'm competing with women out there in society and they're always against me and telling me how I need to do better, how I'm not doing enough, they're acting like someone at my work. I feel like I'm at a performance review all the time, and so I'm always competing with them out there, politically, economically. Think about how that affects your personal life, your social life. If you're a kind of person that wants to have a family.
Shout out to Human for this clip. Like Reiner said, men are worried that women have their own agenda, and that's exactly what's been going on with women embracing feminism.
But at the end of the day, who do you share it with?
But then this is the problem. How do you find the right person to share it with when it's still going to be what you have on the table?
Right.
Because this is you. Are they dealing with you for you or what you have to offer? Now, how you figure that one out? That's the hard part. Even at
well,
this.
I guess I'm going to have to find somebody that has something. And I tell people, look, I want someone to bring something to the picnic besides your appetite. I don't care if it's fork, I don't care if it's napkins,
Right.
I don't care if it's the mashed potatoes with raisins on top. But bring something. To the picnic.
The mentality of the modern woman is not about the collective. It's individualistic. She can jump ship on any given Sunday and won't leave empty-handed, justified or not. The man always pays.
Although I have to say that I always thought a law degree was a license to steal, and that you, for one, hadn't really capitalized on it. Yeah, well, you're not the straight dude people think, though, are you?
I guess not.
I don't mean the caper, I mean you. Women like you.
All right.
You know what they like about you?
I'm a good fuck.
Right. No, they can sniff out the moral dilemma, the paradox.
Moral dilemma.
Yeah, they're drawn to it. Not sure why. Maybe it's just that, lacking any moral sense themselves, they're fascinated by it in men.
This dialogue is pure gold because what they say about women is true. Even though moral dilemmas and paradoxes are separate things, they do have contradiction and conflict in common. In other words, drama. Women love bittersweet. Women love living dead. And because she is an emotional creature, this state of affairs will trigger the most emotions and make her feel alive. That's why it's not a coincidence that she is attracted to a man who embodies this moral dilemma and who is paradoxical, because a stable and predictable man is boring to her.
Typically require higher amounts of stimulation, not just physical, mental, emotional, the works, than men do.
We get bored in bed faster than men. That is 100% scientific fact. If we are sleeping with the same partner in the same way for a little while, chances are we are starting to get bored. Women and women's brains need novelty in the bedroom. We need to be surprised. We need to be trying new things. We actually need it a lot more than men do in order to continue to reach the same heights of pleasure and satisfaction. So if you've been laying the pipe the same way over and over, chances are that she's getting bored and she's probably just too afraid to tell you.
Women get bored faster than men. And you can see it in studies because it's like 70% of the divorces are started by the women.
Men are attracted to flawed women too, of course, but their illusion is that they can fix them. Women don't want to fix anything, they just want to be entertained. The truth about women is you can do anything to them except bore them.
Reiner also said women may be lacking moral sense themselves, which is false. Don't you ever believe that women lack moral sense, because that does not make sense at all. Women know exactly what's going on. Women know exactly what the established morals are and what responses it would trigger if she goes against it. And our recent video is a perfect example of what this looks like.
I left the good guy. I left the guy that everybody looks at and is like, that's a dad, that's a husband, that's how it's supposed to be. He did the dishes, he cleaned the house, he took the kids to school, he worked all day, he made good money, he supported us. I mean, yeah, we had our problems, but he was the good guy.
This example is pure gold because she states all of the things that are universally considered morally right, not only by her, but also everyone that's part of her community.
Nobody has looked me dead in the eye and said it's okay to leave the good guy.
Actions such as helping with the household, taking the kids to school, and working to make good money exemplify a shared moral sense instilled from a young age. How much proof do you need? However, her deliberate decision to go against these established morals within the context of marriage indicates a different moral dynamic. In this dynamic, her lack of love for her husband is used as justification not only for divorcing him, but also for claiming half of his assets, taking custody of their children, and breaking the trust that being a quote-unquote good husband would lead to a happy wife.
You're serious. Barry. Why don't you? Your word, women.
I really like the counselor laughing after hearing Westray, Brad Pitt's character, say it's because of women that he doesn't walk away from this dangerous business they're in. It's ridiculous. This love for women is getting Westray and Reiner killed, and the counselor's fiance brutally murdered. The film explores the connection between love and death, which holds true in many different contexts. First, let's take a look at Westray's context of love and death brought about by women.
So you got the password. 5 digits. Who's Rowena?
I don't know.
All right. Social Security, driver's license.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
I don't see what good this will do unless you have the computer.
You and I are square. So are you planning to see him again?
What would be the point? He'll be broke.
Smart girl.
Westray's love for women distracts him, blinds him from potential dangers that are looming, and puts the women he's engaging with in a position to get close to him. In this case, it enables his personal information to be stolen, leading to his bank accounts being empty. He does not only lose his life, but also his resources. We've seen many men lose fortunes because of their love connections with women. Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, Paul McCartney, Dr. Dre, Michael Jordan, just to name a few. None of these women simply left without a penny. None of them uttered the words, "I don't love you anymore, I just want a divorce. You go your way and I'll go mine." And that's it. Nope. They all made sure they left with more than they came in with, implementing that this could be used as a strategy to secure resources. Once the resources were in, the man was taken out, just like Westray.
So are you planning to see him again?
What would be the point? He'll be broke.
Smart girl.
Interestingly, when the roles are reversed, it's the same women who object to such outcomes. Again, highlighting the specific moral sense inherent in women's actions and decisions. Now let's take a look at Reiner's context of love and death brought about by women.
The things I've learned about women. About half of it I like to forget.
Not sure if I follow you. What is it you'd like to forget, for instance?
You don't want to know?
Sure I do.
I don't know. Let's talk about something else. Here.
Just pull up your socks and tell me.
Yeah. I don't know.
What is it you'd like to forget?
All right. I'd like to forget about Malkina f***ing my car.
What?
See?
What did you just say?
I said I'd like to forget about Malkina f***ing my car.
What the hell are you talking about?
Yes, Cameron Diaz is effing a freaking car in this movie, and we can't show you that on YouTube. Patreon gang, salute! Make sure you watch it when you have the chance. It's pure gold. Great cinematography, narration, and acting by both Cameron Diaz and Javier Bardem.
Come on, Ryan.
Okay, I don't know. You're probably right. Maybe I wanted to see what you'd say. Maybe there's more to it than that. Maybe I'm scared.
You're scared.
Yeah, probably, yeah, sometimes. She scares the shit out of me.
Because of that?
No, not that. No.
You're in love with her.
I don't know what I am. Yeah, I guess I'm in love with her, but you don't think that's cause for worry? It's like being in love with easeful death.
Well, I don't know what it is that you're trying to tell me.
I know.
Easeful death, pure gold. The love paradox for men revolves around the dual nature of love as both a strength and a weakness. On one hand, love can empower men, providing them with motivation, inspiration, and a sense of purpose. It has the potential to fuel their ambitions, drive their success, and promote emotional well-being. However, on the flip side, love can also become a vulnerability, exposing men to emotional risks, heartbreak, and, as seen with Westray, Reiner, and the counselor, even jeopardizing their financial and personal security. The paradox lies in the tricky balance between the strength that love provides and the potential pitfalls that may accompany it, creating a complex and nuanced aspect of the human experience. Now, there's a reason why this space keeps growing, and this masterful scene with the cartel leader, Jefe, played by Ruben Blades, gives an indication why.
Will you help me?
I would urge you to see the truth of the situation you're in, counselor. That is my advice. It is not for me to tell you what you should have done or not done. The world in which you seek to undo the mistakes that you made is different from the world where the mistakes were made. You are now at the crossing, and you want to choose, but there is no choosing there. There's only accepting. The choosing was done a long time ago. Are you there, counselor?
Yes.
I don't mean to offend you, but reflective men often find themselves at a place removed from the realities of life. In any case, we should all prepare a place where we can accommodate all the tragedies that sooner or later will come to our lives. But this is an economy few people care to practice.
Yes, this is the best scene from the movie, in my opinion. I've watched it many times because this is what it's about, fellas. This is not about hating women or being an incel or who's right and who's wrong. This is about understanding the world that you are in. This is about the truth of this world. The counselor could be described as a blue-pilled guy involved in a world beyond his capabilities. Despite his professional success, he lacks comprehension of the risks involved in his decisions, which led to the violent death of his fiancée, highlighting the consequences of his choices. And it's pure gold how the counselor expected to negotiate with the cartel boss, thinking things are fair in this world. And it's not. That's the red pill truth. Whatever you do with this truth is on you. We suggest you protect yourself at all times.
And that is because when it comes to grief, the normal rules of exchange do not apply because grief transcends value. A man would give entire nations to lift grief off his heart, and yet you cannot buy anything with grief. Because grief is worthless.
Why are you telling me this?
Because you continue to deny the reality of the world you're in.
Patreon supporters, salute! Man, that's where we working. Protect yourself at all times. This video has officially been highlighted.